You won't believe what WWE is hiding from you. While millions of fans watch SmackDown and Raw every single week, WWE is putting on dream matches at live events that will never be televised. That's right, matches that would break the internet, matches that would trend worldwide, matches that fans have been begging for, and WWE is keeping them secret. Last night at a house show in Chicago, something unprecedented happened. Gunther, the most dominant force in WWE, went toe-to-toe with Cesaro in a match so brutal, so intense, so absolutely incredible that fans are calling it the best match of the year. But guess what? WWE doesn't want you to know about it. No cameras, no broadcast, no highlights on their social media. Why is WWE hiding this from us? Comment below if you're as furious as I am about this. Before I expose everything that went down at this secret super match, I need you to do something for me right now. Hit that subscribe button and crush that notification bell because Ring Rumble 1 is the only place where you'll get the real stories that WWE doesn't want going mainstream. We're uncovering the matches, the moments, and the controversies that happen when the cameras are off. We're building an army of real wrestling fans who are sick and tired of being fed scraps while the best action happens in front of only a few thousand people. If you want the truth about what's really happening in WWE, you need to be subscribed to this channel. Now let's dive into this insanity. Saturday night, Allstate Arena in Chicago. A standard WWE live event. Fans bought tickets expecting the usual house show formula. Some decent matches, a few comedy segments, maybe a title match or two, nothing too groundbreaking. Boy, were they wrong. The card advertised seemed pretty standard, some mid-card matches, a women's division showcase, and the main event was supposed to be a triple threat for the United States Championship. Fans were excited but not expecting anything legendary. That all changed when an announcement was made halfway through the show. A WWE official came out and announced that due to a last-minute creative decision, there would be a special attraction match added to the card. The crowd perked up. Special attraction at a house show. That's unusual. And then the bombshell dropped. Ladies and gentlemen, in our co-main event of the evening, Gunther vs. Cesaro. The building exploded. Fans literally jumped out of their seats. Phone cameras immediately started recording. People were calling their friends, texting wrestling group chats, posting on social media in real time. This wasn't supposed to happen. This was a dream match. Let me break down why this is such a big deal. Cesaro returned to WWE earlier this year after his stint in other promotions, and fans have been clamoring for him to face the top talent. But WWE has been booking him in safe, mid-card feuds, keeping him away from the main event scene. Gunther, on the other hand, has been on an absolute tear. The ring general has destroyed everyone put in front of him. His chops are legendary, his presence is intimidating, and his matches are consistently the best on any card he's on. But here's the thing, WWE has never pulled the trigger on this match on television. Why? Because they're afraid. They're afraid that if Cesaro looks too strong against Gunther, it'll damage the brand, or whatever corporate nonsense they tell themselves. They're afraid that fans will demand this match on a bigger stage and it'll disrupt their precious, long-term plans. So what do? They give it to us at a house show where there's no permanent record, no broadcast footage, nothing that'll force their hand creatively. It's infuriating. When Cesaro's music hit that arena, the reaction was thunderous. Chicago loves their wrestling, and they especially love wrestlers who've been disrespected by WWE management. Signs immediately went up. Cesaro deserves better. Finally, to be chopped into oblivion. The face-to-face stare-down gave everyone chills. Two absolute physical specimens, two of the strongest men in professional wrestling, two world-class technicians about to go to war. The bell rang, and these two immediately went at it. No feeling-out process, no slow build, just straight violence. They locked up with such force that you could hear the impact throughout the arena. The technical wrestling was sublime. Gunther tried to ground Cesaro with a headlock. Cesaro powered out and hit the ropes, coming back with a shoulder tackle that actually made Gunther stumble. The crowd erupted. When's the last time you saw anyone move Gunther like that? Gunther's face went from annoyed to angry. He charged at Cesaro, and what followed was an exchange of European uppercuts that sounded like gunfire. Crack, crack, crack. Each strike echoed through the building. Fans were wincing with every impact. Cesaro got the upper hand and whipped Gunther into the corner, following up with a devastating running European uppercut that snapped Gunther's head back. But the ring general is no ordinary opponent. He responded with a thunderous chop across Cesaro's chest that immediately left a crimson handprint. The match went back and forth for nearly 25 minutes. 25 minutes of non-stop action. This is unheard of at house shows. Typically, house show matches go 10 to 12 minutes, maybe 15 if it's a main event. But these two went out there and put on a clinic. About 10 minutes in, Cesaro hit his signature swing. He grabbed Gunther's legs and started spinning. The crowd counted along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got to 15 rotations. Gunther is nearly 300 pounds, and Cesaro was swinging him like a ragdoll. When Cesaro finally released him, Gunther stumbled around the ring like he was drunk. But here's where it gets insane. Cesaro didn't go for the pin. He immediately locked in the sharpshooter. Right in the center of the ring. Gunther was trapped. The ring general, the man who makes everyone submit, was caught in one of the most painful submission holds in wrestling. Ludwig Kaiser was on the outside screaming. The crowd was on their feet chanting, "Tap, tap, tap." Gunther's face was contorted in agony. He was clawing toward the ropes, but Cesaro had it locked in tight. Somehow, Gunther managed to drag himself and Cesaro's body weight to the ropes. His fingertips touched the bottom rope and the referee called for the break. The crowd let out a collective groan of disappointment. Gunther pulled himself up using the ropes, his chest already destroyed from Cesaro's uppercuts, his back screaming in pain from the sharpshooter. And you know what he did? He smiled. That sadistic, terrifying smile that says, "Now you've made me angry." What followed was an onslaught. Gunther unleashed a flurry of chops that had Cesaro reeling. Chop, 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 each one louder than the last. Cesaro's chest went from red to purple. The welts were forming in real time. Gunther lifted Cesaro up for a massive powerbomb. The ring shook on impact. Cesaro's spine compressed. The crowd gasped. Gunther went for the cover. 1, 2, kick out. Cesaro kicked out, trying to will both men to their feet. They both got up at the count of 8. Gunther charged, big boot. Cesaro went down. Gunther pulled him up, powerbomb into the turnbuckles. Cesaro slumped in the corner. Gunther backed up, measured his opponent, and charged, dropkick. Cesaro's head snapped back. Gunther dragged Cesaro to the center of the ring, climbed to the second rope, diving splash. All 297 pounds crashing down on Cesaro. 1, 2, 3. Gunther wins. But what a match. The crowd immediately rose to their feet. A standing ovation for both men. That was awesome. Chants filled the arena. Fight forever. Thank you both. Even Gunther, the heel, the villain, acknowledged the crowd's reaction. He stood in the ring, breathing heavily, looking at Cesaro with something that resembled respect. Cesaro slowly got to his feet, holding his chest, his back screaming in pain. The two men stood face to face one more time. And then, in a moment that gave everyone chills, Gunther extended his hand. The crowd held their breath. Would Cesaro shake it? After everything that just happened, after the war they just went through. Cesaro looked at Gunther's hand, looked at the crowd, and then, he shook it. The building exploded. Mutual respect between two warriors. And here's where I get angry. This match, this incredible display of wrestling excellence, will never be seen by the millions of WWE fans worldwide. There's no broadcast footage. WWE won't put it on Peacock. They won't upload it to YouTube. They won't acknowledge it happened. Why? Because it doesn't fit their narrative. Because they don't want fans demanding this match on a premium live event where they'd actually have to deliver. Because they're more concerned with their scripted storylines than giving fans what they actually want. The fans who were there will never forget it. Social media is blowing up with eyewitness accounts. People are calling it a match of the year candidate. And WWE is just going to pretend it didn't happen. This is symptomatic of a bigger problem in WWE. They have the best roster in wrestling history, but they refuse to pull the trigger on dream matches. They save everything for the right moment, which somehow never comes. How many dream matches have we missed because WWE is too scared to book them? How many incredible moments happen at live events that we'll never see? Fans who attended are reporting that WWE officials were specifically telling people not to post full match footage online. They're actively trying to suppress this. It's insane. If you're as frustrated as I am about WWE hiding these incredible matches from us, let me know in the comments. Should WWE be broadcasting house shows? Should they at least acknowledge when something this special happens? Smash that like button if you think Gunther vs. Cesaro deserves to be on television. Destroy that subscribe button if you want more exposure of WWE's hidden gems. And share this video with every wrestling fan you know because they need to know what they're missing. I'm Ring Rumble 1, and I'll keep bringing you the stories WWE doesn't want told. Stay brutal.